I am the temple of the living God, Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. As electricity is the cause of light and power, so is God the cause of your living. This is neither an idea, an image, nor a sensation of mind but an actual living truth. A belief, an idea, or an image is something you create in your own mind. These things are not realities, they are your own creation. You do not create reality. You will see, I hope, that God is not an idea, an image but a living reality. God is life and life is God, but God is more than that. The fact that you can think proves that God can think, the fact that you can hear proves that God can hear, the fact that you can see proves that God can see. For there is nothing existing below that does not exist above. The visible is but the expression of the invisible, the individual mind is the expression of the universal mind, the spirit in man is the expression of the Spirit of God. Therefore you can say, I am the temple of the living God. Do not make God relative by trying to define him. You can only define something that is relative. An idea, a belief, an image, a sensation, these things are relative and have no power except the power that you alone give to them. Then what is real? This is the great problem that has beset all students of philosophy throughout the ages. I know how difficult it is for most to comprehend this great truth, for the simple reason that it has never been put in this way. Most people become puppets expressing the ideas of those they follow blindly. They have not yet learned to think for themselves. Consequently, the world is burdened with race thought, ideologies, and creeds that cause separation and stifle true individual expression. I am the temple of the living God. Think what this means in your life. You must free yourselves from the age-long belief in sickness and limitation, which is but a denial of the truth, that you are the temple of the living God. The world today is ruled by wrong thinking. Are you perpetuating the error and thereby adding to your own individual suffering? Shakespeare says, "The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars but in ourselves that we are underlings." It is your thinking that causes your condition, and the only way to correct this error is to understand it. What I am telling you is not a new discovery, for the prophets of old have tried in vain to reveal the secrets of the heavens so that man could save himself from his own folly. These great oracles were the guiding stars to the masses, but much of their knowledge has been submerged in idolatry and is no longer a help to humanity. It is only when you realize that you are the temple of the living God do you recognize the great opportunities that lie ahead and advance beyond the average, to become the unusual and the extraordinary. This is your opportunity now, and there is no other time. Tomorrow never comes, it is always tomorrow. The Master understood this truth, and those who have acted upon his words have brought about great achievements. The same law operates in all, you only have to apply it to prove it. To have faith in anything outside yourself is an illusion of the mind and can never be a real help. You must first of all learn that you are the temple of the living God. In this alone can you feel secure, and it reveals to you a power that no outside source can reveal. It is getting this understanding of the power of the living God, working in the temple that is not made with hands, is the scepter of power. You must realize that according to your consciousness of the truth, so will you mold your invisible world within, which in time will produce your environment and conditions in the world outside. I want you to clearly see this truth, for it is not an idea or a belief but the livingness of life itself. With this knowledge you will transform your life. I want to guard you against making this only a mental concept, thereby making reality relative, a mere image in your mind. For instance, if you say God is life and you think of life outside yourself, then this God of yours is relative, only an idea, a belief. But if you say I am life and feel that unity with all life, then your God will be a reality to you and not a mere image or idea. I am the temple of the living God. This is the awakened consciousness that has become aware of the oneness of all creation, and not until you have this awareness can you have real results. This is an awareness having no limitation, expanding into infinity. If you talk superficially about that which is within as something separate from yourself, you will see that it is just an image you have in your mind, something apart from yourself, then it is useless to you and has no power at all. Truth will continue to unfold in your mind, thus your ideas will change, your beliefs will change, your personality will change, your mind will change, your body will change accordingly. Yet this living reality is changeless, and the more your mind unfolds, so will it reveal itself in your life. I am the temple of the living God. The revealing of this ever-present life is a continual unfoldment through which you continually make adjustment according to your awareness of your unity with this mighty presence. In this lies the seat of all power in mankind. The great difficulty with the masses today is that they have no true understanding of things as they really are. They live in the illusion that mind and matter are two separate things. Consequently, they are forever trying to solve their difficulties through this illusion, while ignorant of the fact that mind and matter, or spirit substance and material substance, are ingredients of one single system. We have been philosophizing for centuries on the teaching of the prophets but have failed to grasp the great truth they taught of the materializing power of our thoughts. The mistaken dualism of mind and matter has confused many truth students and mental scientists. They try to prove that matter does not exist at all in an effort to dispense with the condition experienced in matter. They fail to see that these conditions are but the expression of thought, mind and matter, being the inner and the outer of the same substance. The more they battle with the condition and try to argue it out of existence, the more they support the phenomena they themselves produce. Blind argument or denial may give temporary relief through autosuggestion, but it can never give true healing. This can only be done by understanding the fundamental truth that you are consciously or unconsciously acting upon the substance we call matter. I am the temple of the living God, and have been given dominion over all things. This remains a fundamental truth that can be proved by anyone who applies the law faithfully with understanding. Unfortunately, this truth has been lost in the mist of meaningless words, and even the learned in our midst are confused by the immense amount of ritual and formalities which they practice religiously. Without having any idea of what they are really doing, so they go on mystifying the people and confusing themselves. We find them praying to their God to aid them against their enemies, little realizing that their enemies are also praying to their God to aid them also. Now, what God are they praying to? Certainly not a God of reality, so it must be a God they have created for themselves. For there is but one God, and He is eternal and ever present in every soul. So they are worshipping something they do not know. I am the temple of the living God, a temple that is not made with hands, but by God Himself. This is the temple in which you must worship the Father in truth and in reality. If you are caught up in the error of your fear and your belief, you have not yet realized the creative power you have inherited from your Father in heaven. No matter how much you may argue with yourself or philosophize, you will fail if you are unaware of your inherited creative power. As the Father has life in Himself, so He grants the Son to have life in Himself. The same life in the Father is in the Son. Call no man your father on earth, for one is your Father who is in heaven, and the kingdom of heaven is within you. Man may for a time please himself, but in the end he can only please God. Thus he finds through experience that the law relentlessly brings him what he sows, so does he reap, and ignorance of the law does not make the law less effective in producing this experience. Ultimately, there is no other way but to please God, and we find the answer in the Master's command to love God with all our strength, with all our mind, with all our heart, and to love our neighbor as ourselves. And in the light of the truth that God is one, manifesting in every soul, your neighbor is yourself. Before you can really comprehend the greatness of this truth revealed in this letter, you must read and reread it till you find confirmation of it in your own heart. Then you will find the way opening up to you, and whatsoever you ask it shall be done unto you. You will find that the Father does the work when you clear the way. Tennyson says, "Speak to him, thou, for he hears. And spirit with spirit will meet. Closer is he than breathing, and nearer than hands and feet. I am the temple of the living God." Benediction. O divine omnipresence, as I dwell in thee, I know that thou dwellest. Through thee I know all that I know, and thou knowest all I know, and what I ask so do I receive. I know that thou art I and I am thee, and all my troubles have vanished in thee. Thy formless omnipresence gives birth to my form, and thus we become one, both personal and impersonal. And this is my devotion, O lovely one. I sometimes beheld thee as Krishna, sometimes as Buddha, sometimes as Christ personal and visible, yet within my own soul I have found thee unfettered and free and abounding in thy glory and infinitude. While thou art expressing thyself in cosmic finitude, so do thou appear unto me, visible and living, that I may serve thee by serving my brother and sister. Yet thou art the ocean of life with and without the ripples of finite creation, and I worship thee in the shrines of thine own creation. For I am my holy temple, thy perfect dwelling peace from which radiates thy love, wisdom, and power to all thy children. My peace and my love remain with you. Yours sincerely, 𝗦 MacDonald-Bayne.